The beautiful Alicia Fox.
Spoke to you and said this, Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Loaded up with alcohol, more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
3 ain't enough now, I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
And after tonight, none of you in this ring will ever be the same again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 Count Thursday, live right here on our Facebook page, facebook.com/3 Count Thursday. It is Thursday, March 28th, 2019. We are the podcast of the millennium. We have tons to talk about this week, including anything can happen on the road to WrestleMania. But first, our show is brought to you by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out their Facebook page where you'll find home decor you will not be able to resist at prices anybody can afford. There you will find pillows and stools featuring your favorite sports teams. Also, you will see sets with your kids' favorite cartoon or movie characters. You can also get full body and neck pillows as well. Log on to the website of our home network, NGSC Sports, at ngscsports.com. Find the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage and place your order. Tim and Ryan here in Studio L, as we are every single week, although we may not be next week, or all of us. I'm not sure what is the exact schedule. You'll still be here Thursday? All right, so we'll go live Thursday.
Damn right I'll be
Pay attention to all of our social media as we near WrestleMania weekend and WrestleMania Sunday, as Ryan and Mark will be at MetLife Stadium. The rest of us, Tim, myself, and Matt, will be live in some fashion previewing the show, so we're going to figure that out, and we'll get you the details as we get. But make sure you go to our website, 3countthursday.com. Follow us on all of our social media. Make sure you go subscribe to us on our YouTube page. Check out our merchandise at whatamaneuver.net. Go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/3countthursday. Again, check out our home network, NGSC Sports, our collar and elbow brand deal. Promo code 3count for 10% off each and every order. And all that and much more can be found at 3countthursday.com.
3 Count Thursday.
Holy shit, guys, there was a lot of stuff happened this week.
Nothing's happened. Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
No, that's...
Mahalo.
We got to do a show, Ryan.
We're going to do a show, folks.
Yes, we're going to do a show.
Welcome to Huddle Up.
We got baseball season.
We got sports to talk about. The Braves suck.
Jim's a NASCAR fan.
I am?
And trying out for the 2020 Olympics.
And Gronk retired. But first...
No, but Gronk actually retired. Well, what Olympic sport am I trying out?
Gymnastics.
Why?
I want to see you on the rings.
You got a mean floor routine.
What, I fall on the floor and can't get up?
You just be swinging that ribbon like...
Yeah, something like that.
That ribbon, the PlayStation controller,
if you're
throwing the Frisbee for the dog. Your routine's great.
If you're following along on the live video, make sure you give it a like, give it a share. We'd appreciate that. Get as many people in here as possible on a Thursday night.
Sweet.
Do it.
Yeah, speaking of the beginning of baseball season, I think the Orioles were just eliminated from the playoffs. So
that is factual. I also got the notification on my watch.
Yeah. 2 independent shows on our calendar. One this weekend. Another one before we come on the air next week.
It's exciting.
MCW Spring Fever in Joppa, Maryland on Sunday afternoon.
Little afternoon delight.
Corey Graves and Renee Young are the special guests at MCW this weekend. And then next Thursday at 4 p.m. From Jersey City, New Jersey, GCW presents Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. So for information on both of those shows, head over to 3countthursday.com.
And that's really the start of the More Than Mania week.
Yeah, that's pretty much the kickoff to More Than Mania week.
GCW sold out 4 shows.
Dude, let's take a moment and recognize the awesomeness of that. The Janela show sold out in like minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For the Joey Janela Spring Break. Minutes.
Then they did another one.
And that sold out in minutes.
And then when Nova Pro closed for reasons you can find on the internet, but mainly because the promoter was giving people handshakes and hot dogs for deals and not paying people.
First of all,
that's bad business, right?
It is bad business.
Okay.
But hot dogs get a bad rap in that, and that's not warranted.
Right, we can't.
Well, the hot dogs were imaginary hot dogs.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, they were like they were imaginary hot dogs.
Is hot dogs code for something, or are you just saying imaginary hot dogs?
No, it's an imaginary hot dog. Like, here you go.
Like he didn't even give
Ryan,
you a hot dog.
Hey, Ryan, here's a hot dog.
Thank you. So I just get a handshake.
Yeah, handshakes.
But that doesn't put gas in my
and
car.
I'll get you next time.
What does it say about our show that when like you started to say the words handshake, I thought we were going somewhere completely different?
Because you just heard hand?
Right.
No, I don't talk about that.
But
it's not even like for Nova Pro where they're just people are working for gas money and a large extra pepperoni pizza.
Right. 2 times pepperoni.
2 times pepperoni.
3 times pepperoni.
Double pepperonis and gas money.
Matt will not be joining us tonight. That is unfortunate.
Pedantic.
Breaking news. But Matt
will not. You have a sad breaking news sound or just the
no? I mean, I have the sad violin.
I like it. This is for you, Matt.
That is for you. But he will be back with us next week. Next week, of course, we'll be talking NXT. We'll be talking. I think we can talk about the G1 Supercard.
We can talk about
the Thursday night show because you guys, we're not talking Mania.
No, we're not talking
Thursday
Mania. We're not going to talk
no?
Mania next. I mean, obviously, we'll talk about the go home shows, but we're not going to be like predicting Mania
and going down the curve.
Yeah, that'll be Sunday afternoon with Tim, Matt, and I, because you guys will,
correct.
Maybe try and get you guys on the horn, but you and Mark will be in East Rutherford going to the big show.
That's correct.
That's correct. I'm assuming you're getting pretty pumped for that.
I am getting excited. There are some options out there about hitting Access on Saturday.
Okay.
Because they are doing some really cool, a lot of wrestling actually at the Access. Did you guys see that?
The Worlds Collide thing?
The Worlds Collide is one of them. They have on Saturday alone, they're filming, I think, 3 installments of NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday alone. They have a throwback show. Is that the Worlds Collide where it's NXT alum versus current NXT?
So the Worlds Collide card.
I have the
like
schedule.
4 shows.
NXT versus NXT alumni
That's the one. Yeah, that one sounds
is Thursday.
awesome.
That's on Thursday. This is from the press release just today from the WWE. Access, which runs from Thursday through Monday at Brooklyn Pier 12, will feature unique, never-before-seen Worlds Collide matchups involving superstars from NXT, NXT UK, 205 Live, Raw, and SmackDown Live. Access will be your only chance to see these matches before they eventually air on the WWE Network. Additionally, 3 sets of NXT UK tapings will take place at Access. Thursday from between 6 and 10, it's NXT versus NXT alumni. The past meets present as former NXT superstars battle current superstars from the Black and Gold brand. The matches will include Roderick Strong versus Tyler Breeze, Dominic Dijakovic versus Harper, which is good news. Harper's back. He is not dead. He confirmed that on Twitter today. Sanity versus Undisputed Era, and Cassius Ohno versus Aiden English. And then there's the Cruiserweights Collide. That'll be on Friday be split between sessions 1 and 2. Cruiserweights from 205 Live, NXT UK, and NXT will soar to new heights in inter-brand bouts on Friday's Access sessions. Featured matches will include Tyler Bate versus the Brian Kendrick, Akira Tozawa versus Jordan Devlin, Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews versus Arya Davari and Mike Kanellis, and Albert Hardy Jr. versus Grand Metalik versus Ligero. Session 1 runs from 1 to 5 p.m. Session 2 runs 6 to 10 p.m. Then there are the NXT tapings during Sessions 1, 2, and 3 on Saturday. Session 1 from 8 a.m. till noon. Session 2, 1 to 5 p.m. Session 3, 6 to 10 p.m. Then there's the Brands Battle. That'll be Sunday from between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. 20 Superstar Battle Royals, one for male superstars, one for female superstars, to take place the morning of WrestleMania. Both Battle Royals will feature superstars from NXT and NXT UK, and the Men's Battle Royal will additionally feature superstars from 205 Live. And then Women's Collide, Monday, April 8th, between 12 and 4.
This is after Mania.
This is after Mania, before Raw, after Mania. Figure that words out.
Right.
One day after female superstars main event WrestleMania for the first time in history, the WWE Women's Evolution continues to take center stage at Access. Watch top female superstars from NXT, NXT UK, Raw, and SmackDown Live collide, which matches including Io Shirai versus Sonya Deville, Toni Storm versus Nikki Cross versus Bianca Belair, Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega, Candice LeRae versus Kaylee Ray, and more. So there's a lot of good stuff, man. If you're gonna be around there, definitely try and bounce in and check out one of those.
And like, there's just so much wrestling going on.
Oh my God, yeah.
Down there with everything going on with the Collective, the group for for Powerbomb, former Powerbomb, independentwrestling.tv, because it's all the Game Changer stuff. Chikara is going to be there. Interspecies Wrestling is going to be there. AIW is going to be there. Plus the G1 Supercard, which is sold out.
Here's Friday. You have the WrestleCon USA versus the World. Shimmers. 1 hour later, Chikara starts. 1 hour later, IPW UK starts. Then they have the WWN Super Show. In their Rev Pro, Black Label Pro's running. Stardom is running. NXT TakeOver starts that night. MLW has their show. GCW's Janela Spring Break Part 1. 5 minutes after that, at another location, Joey Ryan's Penis Party starts. And then to wrap up that night at 11:59, Black Craft Wrestling. That's just on one day.
That's fucking nuts.
And only one of those is like a WWE show. There's so much wrestling to consume this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously,
next weekend.
NXT TakeOver sold out. So if that's sold out, try and get to an indie show. G1 Supercard sold out. I assume Hall of Fame sold out. So
yeah, and here's the thing too: if you're not going to be at WrestleMania, you could literally watch 10 wrestling cards for $99 between the Fight app and independentwrestling.tv. Use the promo code Edgar sent me for 20 free days, which means you could do it now and be ready for WrestleMania weekend.
And you can watch those 10 shows in the time it will take to watch WrestleMania.
Exactly.
So you're great.
So there's literally so much you can watch. I'm personally going to try to binge out on as much wrestling as possible between now and then, because WrestleMania weekend isn't just WrestleMania weekend for the men and women who compete for the blue brand and the red brand and the gold brand. Sure. WrestleMania weekend is everyone.
Correct.
Now, you don't propose changing the name WrestleMania weekend, do you?
To what?
Jay Lethal this week was on a podcast and said that it's so much more than WrestleMania, that it should not be called like WrestleMania week or WrestleMania weekend. It should just be called Wrestling Week or Wrestling Weekend.
No.
Which is absolutely wrong.
That's
because they followed WrestleMania there.
And
if they wanted to get together,
if it wasn't for WrestleMania, there wouldn't be all of that other stuff in that geographic area.
That Friday I just read.
I would love to see all these independent promotions do something like, they're not going to say that shit when All Elite Wrestling fucking goes to
Vegas.
They're not going to be like, oh, this is Wrestling Weekend Summer Edition.
Right.
Oh no, it's Starcast and Double or Nothing weekend,
and that's it. Nobody else has chased them out there,
right?
And I'm not saying they chased them being petty and like putting down the independents.
No,
for
but
doing
here's the thing:
because they're smart for doing it.
Like SummerSlam is the we're doing good, man. I needed this week. If you listen to our Patreon extra, the pre-show, post-show, we talk about we've had a rough week. I think all of us have had a little bit of a rough week.
Hell of a week.
So it's good to be on here talking about wrestling, and
that was just yesterday. Hell of a week yesterday.
pre-show, post-show only costs you $2 per month to get you all the insider access and much more. But yeah, like, I mean, SummerSlam is like the WrestleMania of the summer.
Sure.
But like, you know what I mean? People don't even chase SummerSlam like they chase WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the biggest event in pro wrestling in the year.
Correct.
It's just how it is.
Right.
So yeah, it will always be WrestleMania weekend.
I think they could chase SummerSlam and be
Oh,
successful.
I think they could do, and I think places, I think companies could chase Double or Nothing weekend and be successful in that in Vegas that weekend. I mean, I've never been to Vegas. I mean, that you're
It's just the strip.
you're
There's
fighting
nothing else.
fighting a lot of other entertainment options.
The Chris Angel Magic Show.
You all right over there?
I got excited about that.
my ear itched.
Okay,
Oh.
I didn't know if that was a signal for you couldn't hear
No.
correctly.
It's a signal for my ear itches.
Okay, gotcha.
Thanks.
You know
Thank
what's
you.
Take a little Q-tip, put some alcohol on it,
Some witch hazel.
some witch hazel right up in there.
You want your ear hole to shrink?
Yep.
What, for witch hazel?
Yeah, doesn't that make things
I
shrink?
think that's what's like in hemorrhoid cream. So yeah,
Well, it
probably,
does. It
yeah.
does. It makes things shrink.
Make my ear peen really small.
All right, so
Exactly.
I think definitely the biggest thing of newsworthiness in the last couple of days.
Hold on, let me see if I can figure it out. Hold on.
Is it the Matt Hardy news?
No, I think that's the wrong.
Is it 3 counts getting back together? If I know anything from Price is Right, we have to get this one right or we do not win the prize. What was your favorite Price is Right game now that we're on this?
There was a thing.
Blinko.
There was a thing on Tuesday. Something happened on Tuesday.
Well, no, stop. Before we
Really
get to- what
early
is-
in the
'cause
morning.
I'm not going to be able to get back to this. What is your favorite
Price is Right
Price
game.
is Right game?
I love Plinko.
Plinko as well.
Yeah, but if I have to pick a regular game,
Sure.
it's the Mountain Climber game.
Yes.
Cliffhanger.
Absolutely.
Cliffhanger.
I do love some
Absolutely.
cliffhanger.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite since a child. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Tuesday morning.
there was something that happened on Tuesday. Am I right? It's
You're getting close.
so Tuesday morning on like a big Mickey Mouse brand. Like I don't know. Like Espen. On Espen, there was an interview segment
There was an interview segment.
where Ric Flair's daughter
Yes.
and some girl who thinks wrestling is fake and the man were there, but they were there to commemorate something. Like
You're getting close. I know this is tough.
because they wouldn't the women wouldn't main event WrestleMania, would they?
Wait, what did you just say?
The women, like they can't main event WrestleMania, right?
Well, just like take the words.
I would feel like the women main eventing WrestleMania would be a great culmination of like this evolution that they're.
That's a joke. No, women can't draw on top.
They can on me.
All of that's very tongue-in-cheek. WrestleMania 35 will make history as Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch will main event the greatest spectacle in the history of sports entertainment.
Buttons broke. There we go.
that.
I knew that was gonna.
If you missed last week's show, which first off, shame on you. Tim apparently choked on words. So to get the full,
I ate a thought bubble.
To get the full context of this, you have to again go to Patreon.com to do it the easy way. Go to Patreon.com/3Count Thursday. Donate $2 per month. Listen to this week's pre-show, post-show when it drops later tonight. You can listen to it later tonight, tomorrow, or as many freaking times as you want to. But we have the clip. We have it ready to roll, and you'll find out exactly what really why it happened. But you're going to hear that sound a lot. Yeah, okay. So obviously it was formally announced officially Monday Even though we've speculated on it for a while that this match was going to close the show. The Raw Women's Title Triple Threat is main eventing WrestleMania. Just an absolutely awesome decision, and it's the perfect time to do it. I think it's, I part of me still wishes it was just Ronda versus Becky, because that's the match that we wanted. And we're going to tie this into what happened Tuesday night on SmackDown, because I think there's a lot that's going into this. But just knowing that the women in any form or fashion are main eventing WrestleMania is absolutely fantastic. Now, let's tie it in. Let's tie it in to obviously on SmackDown Live on Tuesday night, Charlotte Flair takes on Asuka and wins the SmackDown Women's title. A lot of people upset about it. I'm not.
Yup.
I'm not super thrilled about it. But I'm also curious about where this goes. Like,
there's only one place that this goes, Jim.
And that's just Charlotte walking in with the title?
That one person is walking out with 2 titles.
You think so?
There's no reason why you would put both champions in one match and not have it be winner take all. They just created the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, which is a co-branded title.
Correct.
So you think they're unifying the women's titles?
Without question.
See, I don't.
So SmackDown the SmackDown title's not going to be defended?
Why wouldn't it be?
If it's
the main event of WrestleMania is the Raw Women's Tag Championship match, which has Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Ronda Rousey.
Now Charlotte just happens to be the SmackDown Women's Champion.
So, Charlotte's not wrestling twice.
I didn't say she was.
She absolutely could,
but she's not.
She could, but she's not going to. They're not going to. They're not going to
put Asuka in this match, are they?
No. Why would they?
Because
could.
The SmackDown Championship now is apparently on the line.
It has not been formally announced.
I know that. I'm busting.
But you don't get it. But there's no automatic rematches anymore. So why would you put Asuka into the main event?
I don't know. Why would you?
No.
Why would you put Charlotte Flair in this main event?
Because Becky was hurt.
I mean, it's literally.
No, Becky wasn't hurt. Becky was cleared.
Kayfabe, brother. That when Becky was hurt and she wouldn't play along and play nice, that's when Vince put Charlotte in.
No, it was after the fact that she had already been cleared, and she apologized.
Oh, that's right.
Vince came back and said, like, you're not right.
It's like, I don't like your attitude. Your attitude's poor. Yours is too, Rhonda. We need some pizzazz. We need a little flair.
Let's be honest.
Charlotte Flair.
Right, let's be honest. They put Charlotte in the match because it's Ric Flair's
daughter. Yeah, and that's why ESPN put that on the bottom of the ticker.
Right, 100%.
Sure, you're absolutely right.
Like
there.
this WrestleMania is about getting the most eyes on the product, and that drastically means the most non-wrestling fan eyes, and that's why Charlotte's in this match.
I've gotten over the fact that Charlotte's in this match. I will not get over the fact that they're going to unify the titles.
But why are they going to unify the titles? The brand split's not going away. Do you really think that? No, Fox is going to want their own brand to have their own women's champion.
Okay, so they got 6 months to go with one title. They have a it's not even co-branded.
I mean, Fox would want it as much as Raw or USA would want it.
The women's title is defended on all brands: SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and NXT UK. So if you don't think the WWE would just unify the women's title and whoever the women's champion is goes from Raw to SmackDown, they already have Becky Lynch going on Raw and SmackDown every week. They've got Charlotte going on Raw and SmackDown every week. What's the big deal?
They haven't been very brand loyal with this build.
Exactly.
I mean, Becky
won the Royal Rumble, though.
Right.
Like, that could happen very easily with whatever.
Yeah, but in previous history, when the person wins the Royal Rumble and they choose their title, they go to that title. Look to when Chris Benoit, he who shall not be named, won the Royal Rumble in 2004. He was a SmackDown superstar who chose the Raw title. And he was never on SmackDown again. He went to Raw. And he was on Raw because he was building up the feud with the Raw champion at the time. So it's if Becky's challenging the Raw champion, then she should be on Raw all the time and she shouldn't be on SmackDown. But instead she's on SmackDown because she's a SmackDown competitor competing for a Raw title. So
then Charlotte is there just because Vince
put her in the
McMahon
match.
can do that.
Yes.
He is the key holder.
Yes.
Okay.
Now it's going to be very interesting because the international brand split is the week after WrestleMania. So we have the WWE title, we have the unification match, and this is all rumor and innuendo. It's all tongue in cheek. There's the triple threat match for either or both of the women's titles, then a week of television, and then the brand split.
Right. For me, I think that part of the reason Charlotte won the SmackDown women's title is so that she's walking into WrestleMania with an accessory. And when Becky defeats Ronda in the triple threat, it presents a great close to the words Women's Revolution. Because your closing shot of WrestleMania is the 4 horsewomen, all with championships in that ring at WrestleMania.
I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I 100% think that's what's going to happen. I don't think because,
they're not going. If Becky Lynch wins the title, there's no way she's going to share that spotlight with Charlotte, much less anyone else. I think
100% disagree.
Then we will agree to disagree, but it is more meaningful for Becky to stand tall alone as the man and the figurehead of the women's division with both titles high, especially since the news that Becky Lynch's contract got extended and was for a raise.
I thought it was she was offered a new contract.
I believe she took it.
Okay, I just saw that she was offered one. I didn't see that.
I'm sure.
Right, I don't think she's going anywhere. But
either way, you don't just do that to somebody you're not going to put faith in, or you don't already have faith in.
Well, I think
her body of work demanded.
Right,
that.
I think the last 6 months has proven that they have more than enough faith in her.
Correct.
Right, she's a good commodity to have.
I don't see this going out in a way, and this is a sign. I'm not giving the WWE a sign of good faith.
Wow.
The WWE has unified titles.
That's
left.
goddamn breaking news if I ever heard it.
Wow. The WWE has unified titles left, right, and center, dating back to 2003. Remember when there was only one title on Monday Night Raw? And it was the World Heavyweight Championship? And the hardcore title got swallowed by the European title, and the European title got swallowed by the Intercontinental title,
yep.
and then the Intercontinental title got swallowed by the World Heavyweight Championship.
Was that with Jericho?
That was RVD, RVD to Kane to Triple H.
Man,
and then even going back before that, they had the championship of all championships when they had John Cena and Randy Orton in a ladder match with both titles hanging high, and then we had a unified champion. So we unified,
right? But that was when there was no brand split.
There was a brand split for the Raw in 2003.
I feel like the tag teams for the women's division,
there's not enough women
not enough tag teams
there's not enough women on each individual roster to do a Raw Women's Tag Team Champions
and a
SmackDown Women's Tag Team Champion and an NXT Women's Tag Team Champion and an NXT UK Tag Team Champion. There's more than enough women to continue to have separate titles on the two brands.
There is, but I will believe it when I see it.
Yeah, and
that they don't unify the title. They're not going to. There is a reason why both titles are in one match, and there's a reason why they aren't doing Charlotte versus Asuka 2 as a singles match for the title, or they're not doing Mandy Rose versus Asuka for the SmackDown title.
I think and this obviously, you know, whenever you're hearing things from Wrestling Observer or any of these places,
yeah.
it is a lot of it's whether they hear it from somebody or not. There's people that feed misinformation on purpose. There is people that, you know, feed real information, fake information, somewhat misleading information, half-truths, et cetera, et cetera.
That's fine.
Meltzer, in terms of what happened on Tuesday, said that Vince changed his mind this afternoon. He said he didn't want to put Asuka against whomever that nobody cared about in the 17th or 18th match on the show, and instead decided to add another title into the main event. Maybe they figured they had too many matches on the show, and it was a good way to get rid of one. All I know is it changed Tuesday afternoon.
Sure.
Right. You want it to make sense. It doesn't. It can't change. It can't when you change the story every week. I
was also planning to eat really well today, and I changed my mind
Right.
Thursday morning
Right.
that I was going to eat like poop. So, Meltzer, like, I'm not taking my information from anyone else.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not.
mine is Wrestling Tim Cider. It's my thoughts, like it's what I'm seeing in the tea leaves, and yeah. Let me prognosticate. Hold on. Ding.
That's my jam, man.
And like, here's the thing. Again, whether no matter what anybody's thought, opinion, belief, or whatever is at this point, it is simply that, because the WWE has told us nothing. Mm-hmm. In terms of what Charlotte being the SmackDown Live Women's Champion means, besides her being SmackDown Live Women's Champion. That's all we know. We don't know if she is going to be in a second match. We don't know if the SmackDown Live Women's title is going to be also up for grabs in this match. We don't know if it's just SmackDown Live Women's Champion Charlotte in the match for the Raw Women's title. All of those things could still be in play. Hell, we could get to Tuesday and, you know, Shane McMahon or whomever could say there's a rematch or there's a fucking fatal four-way for the SmackDown Live Women's title, and Charlotte loses it to returning Eva Marie. We don't fucking know.
She's been
Do
practicing.
not say that into existence.
It's out there. It's already gone. It's in the recording.
I saw
there.
her training with Spanky.
But you know what I mean? We truly don't know what any of this currently means as of 10:04 p.m. on March 28th. We don't know.
I mean, I battled you a bit, but there is a large part of me that thinks it's just going to be Charlotte walking in, and that strap also being up for grabs in that match.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, the promo on Monday was like, "I'm bringing the fire," or whatever Becky Lynch said she was bringing.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's
Lucky
bringing
Charms.
the Lucky Charms, the Royal Rumble victory. Roddy's bringing the Raw Women's Champion. What is, like, Charlotte bringing? And then, or was it Tuesday? I guess it was Tuesday. And then Charlotte's music hits.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlotte's like, oh my God, they're not going to do this.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it, are they?
And
not to Asuka.
And the headline that's buried is now Charlotte is an 8-time women's champion, which now puts her at number 1.
Halfway to Papa,
but
by
it's
the
also
way.
the number 1 of women.
Correct.
Yes, of all time.
She's topped Trish, and
which is fucking absurd, by the way. Like, it's and this is why, I mean, even when you know, because I often joke and I'm wholeheartedly serious that I think John Cena gets a number 17 before he's finally done wrestling.
Never.
But that's why I say it title reign numbers now don't mean what they did back then, because first off, there's more titles. There's more world titles or universal titles, main titles, whatever you want to call them. There's more of them now than there used to be. And you have more TV shows, more product, all of this, so things are going to move quicker. Like, I remember when Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart hit number 5, and to me as a WWE guy, because like I wasn't even at that point really connected to the WCW world at all, and the notion of anything to that 5 was I was like, holy shit, like that is fucking huge. So, but I mean, it is bonkers to think that we are 5 years after the first NXT takeover on the WWE network,
Right.
and Charlotte has won 8, and that's 8 main roster titles, right? That's not counting the NXT women's title.
Correct.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's too much.
And it includes the Divas title.
Yes. One of those Divas title was it 3-time Raw and 4-time SmackDown, and then of course it's bonkers, and the roster's so deep, like that's.
And here, poor Nia Jax hasn't won shit.
Devin says they haven't announced a women's battle royal. They have not. I do have, and I'm going to go down because there's been a lot of talk this week with wrestling fans about the quality of the build, what the card's going to be like, and I want to run down what the card is officially as of today. You know, obviously there's still matches that are unannounced. There's a lot of entrants into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that have not officially been announced, because right now there's only 3. Braun Strowman and the 2 dorks from SNL.
The winner's been announced.
Yes.
Colin Jost.
Colin Jost has been announced. You're right. But let's see. Jordan says
That's a shame, because I've always found Michael Che really, really funny, and Colin Jost is tolerable. And I just hate what they're doing right now with them.
I mean, I enjoy Weekend Update on SNL.
Yes, I sure do.
But let's see. Jordan here, he says Charlotte keeps the SmackDown Live belt, but if Becky goes over, I think they'll either give her the choice to pick which belt she wants, give her the belt of whichever champ she pins to win, or maybe they'll just give her both titles in the Raw and then roll out a unified women's title.
And I think that's the whole point, Jordan, is there's so much uncertainty.
Yes.
And I feel like, to a certain degree, it's completely unnecessary.
It is.
Can I be honest with you? Like, and I've been really hush about this, but a couple of weeks ago, I remember talking about WrestleMania going off the air with the 4 horsewomen facing off with the 4 UFC horsewomen, and the WWE 4 horsewomen all having championships. That's like back on the table here.
It's at this point, it's 100% on the table.
It's on the table, whereas without the SmackDown Championship wouldn't have been there. But the 4 WWE women all carrying championship, and I'm not thinking that with the other 2, Duke and
Shafir
are main roster ready at all, because they're not.
No,
but it could happen.
True.
Because I think not Kyrie Sane, Jesus Christ, Shayna Baszler is main roster ready.
Yeah, End of Babes is completely ready.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, because again, right now, all options are on the table.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, it puts my crazy ass theory. I feel like as not a strong possibility, but it's at least a possibility.
And I mean, here's
I could see Mania going off the air. Why wouldn't you want Mania going off the air? And I don't know how you like flip Charlotte and Ronda, or I'm sorry, Charlotte and Becky to be friendly with each other, to posture and pose for WrestleMania to go off the air, all on the same side. But why wouldn't you want that?
I don't think it's much different than at the end of a playoff series, guys going through the handshake line.
A just respect thing.
Yeah.
Together we put an end to the Ronda Rousey reign.
Last spring when the Caps finally beat the Penguins and later went on to win the Stanley Cup. Fuck off. You would be doing the same thing if the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but you're not defending anymore, so it is what it is.
I did.
But Sidney Crosby shook Ovechkin's hand and told him go win the cup. I mean, these guys are bitter rivals. They've been rivals in
Did
press,
he whisper
whatever.
that into his ear when he was licking his ear?
Probably. I don't know if it was a full lick or a half lick, but it happened.
A little tongue.
But you know what I mean? I think, and I know Scotty and I were talking about this on Twitter today, because he kind of said, to him it doesn't make sense how you can kind of, make that switch. So in the way I kind of presented it, Becky wins the decision over Ronda.
Okay.
And has her moment to celebrate, and then Sasha and Bayley come in with their titles,
right?
And it's the 3 of them, and Charlotte's is in the corner or what have you, kind of just in disbelief over the situation,
right?
And then somehow you get to the three of them, because it was the NXT Takeover Brooklyn was the first one,
right,
where you had the four of them and that show, and women were battling each other. So I mean,
Becky could grab the SmackDown Championship and give it to her as a goodwill gesture.
Yes.
After, right,
and it's about that moment, and if you want to put the words "Women's Revolution" to bed, that's the perfect way to cap that, because what are you
That's a great
revolutionizing anymore? Like, there's no more first times, really, after this. I mean, to be 100% honest, it's just part of the product now. It's on the level of everything is even now. Hell, even freaking, intergender stuff is somewhat on the table now. So it's what it used to be to what it is now. I mean, the revolution's kind of over. We're just in a new world, so to speak.
That's the only first time left. I agree with you that you need to stop the revolution.
Give me that. I need to write points down.
No.
What just
You
happened?
take care of points yourself. That you're right. You're absolutely right in saying that there is nothing else to accomplish, and you need to treat the women just like a superstar now, and stop. Just 1 point?
Yeah, you just
okay,
get
that's
one.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And stop.
What just happened?
Why would I give Ryan a negative point?
I earned a point for this because you said there's no other firsts to do with the women.
Was there a Nia Jax joke in there somewhere?
Maybe.
Want to share with the people?
No, I don't.
You want to share with me?
I kind of do.
Can I see it while you guys talk?
Yeah.
Can I have the pen? Because now that's the same joke twice. That's an extra point.
The fuck it! He wanted to see it. It's a point for Jim for being a schmuck and wanting to see it. There's a
That's
first.
wrong. Great radio, guys.
Tell you what.
There's a first.
Take a picture of that.
Not doing it.
Post it to Patreon.
I'll do it for $2.
Pay $2, and you'll get to see what Ryan's terrible person points are for.
Yeah.
Terrible person point.
Big red points there for him.
I'm on selfie mode.
But I mean, the bottom.
I just don't.
I'm uploading it now.
Aside from Sasha putting up the 4 in Ronda's face, they haven't even talked about the horsewomen at all.
You're not wrong.
In a year.
You don't. But I think everybody who's on board for all of this, at least for the most part, is aware. And I also think that because Charlotte winning the title changes things, obviously, in a dramatic fashion. So I'm going to be curious to see come Monday as they begin to really start pushing the promo videos for matches, if there's not something about the 4 horsewomen in any of those, and part of like the whole journey and women's revolution and all that.
Yeah,
so,
I just.
I'm not necessarily saying any of this is right. I still think in my perfect world, this takes Charlotte out of the Raw Women's title triple threat. She would defend the SmackDown title against Asuka or whomever they put up on SmackDown, should be Asuka. And then we have Ronda versus Becky for the Raw Women's title 1-on-1. That's what I would love to see happen, because now Charlotte's the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. We're not. Let me say that we're not going to get that.
That ain't gonna happen.
That ain't gonna happen. But to me, that's what should happen. So again, it's this changed everything. And I have to wonder too if maybe some of what Meltzer said is correct, but I also have to wonder. And not just to this match or whatever, but how much influence, people saying that, things are too predictable or this or that or the other thing, how aware WWE is of things and sometimes wants to turn that key and surprise the shit out of you just because people are saying, like when Daniel Bryan won the title on SmackDown not long after his return. Like I just there, you know what I mean? I don't know where and why and exactly how these decisions made. Not
I
that
feel
we'll
like
ever
this
truly
one
know.
was super telegraphed too. Like are we talking about SmackDown?
Yes.
When she won, like it was just very obvious it was going to happen. Like there was not a shadow of doubt. Like why would you put Charlotte Flair main eventing in a week and a half in a match against Asuka to lose?
Considering, so...
And as soon as they announced it for the championship...
So, there was a statistician going around. Do you know when the last time that Charlotte won a match on television prior to her SmackDown Live title win?
Wow.
I'm going to assume it's been a while.
October.
What?
Mm-hmm.
When she was also out for a bit of time there, right?
Correct. But she has not won a match since October. This was her first win since October on television.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, no.
And then also, did you see the stat about Asuka?
That nobody was ready for her?
No. So, since Asuka getting called up to the main roster, she's only been beaten 5 times. Twice by Charlotte, twice by Carmella, and once by Mandy Rose. There's only one other superstar that since their return has only lost 5 times.
Since their return.
Since their return?
That's the big giveaway.
Rey Mysterio.
Brock Lesnar.
I feel like Rey Mysterio hasn't lost 5 times.
So
I know he hasn't been back very long either.
I don't think he's been in 5 matches.
So am I wrong?
He was in 3 of the greatest crown jewel best in the world tournament.
Let's be honest. I can't remember what I had for dinner like 3 days ago at this point.
That's fair. But they don't count.
So
They
what?
weren't
Like
real
what?
shows.
What's? What's the connection there? Is there any connection, or is it just
Goldberg's
People are saying that that Asuka's getting punished because she lost the title before WrestleMania,
getting punished for what though?
or like she's in
They don't know
trouble,
how to.
or
They don't know how to push the Orientals.
They're de-pushing her because she's whatever.
I'm sick of that shit too. They don't know how to. They don't know how to work with a minority. They can't push the.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing that's going on too, where like
Oh,
the
God.
first thing is WWE's racist because
They can't push.
they took an Asian champion, took a title off of an Asian person going into
Look.
WrestleMania and giving it to the whitest person they have on the roster.
Okay, they did not give it to Sheamus. Okay,
They gave it to female Sheamus.
no, that would be Becky Lynch.
She's darker than a few.
Look, here's the thing. Like, I
She
wish
at least is tanning.
the reason,
Sheamus.
right, wrong, or indifferent, whether you like it or not, the reason Charlotte is the SmackDown Live Women's Champion ultimately,
Because they hate me, Jim.
well, it's because they hate Tim, and it's because they want as much shine as possible on the triple threat match, the first ever women's main event of WrestleMania. That's the reason. They don't hate Asuka. They don't hate foreigners. They don't hate minorities. Nothing. It's baffling to me how, and I understand the back history, but it's baffling to me that on a WrestleMania that we are going to see Kofi Kingston win the WWE Championship.
I don't know about that, Jim.
Kofi Kingston is going to win.
I don't know about that, Jim.
Well, shut up. Kofi Kingston is going to win the WWE
So you
Championship.
don't think it's going to happen?
Just wait.
I feel like we need to have a friendly wager here. Like
That
I'm sitting in the
people
middle.
are going to say that WWE is racist.
Sure.
Like that is mind blowing to me. Let's catch up on a couple of comments here. Scotty says, well, we touched about the Meltzer comments about the unification. The unification, yes or no? That is all rumor and speculation. Pick your opinion and see how it plays out. That's all we can tell you about that. He said he thinks Asuka's winning the women's battle royal. Maybe we get heel Asuka out of this. I would be full on board for heel Asuka finally, kind of snapping or whatever.
Like demented clown Asuka?
Yeah. I don't know if there is a women's battle royal. That hasn't been announced yet. Let's see here. Colby says, I think Charlotte's going to be in 2 matches. Becky pins Charlotte to win the title. Charlotte keeps SmackDown title. I think they're going to have the WWE Horsewomen in the ring with all the gold like they did with Chris and Eddie. Again, I think that's a very likely scenario that WrestleMania closes with the 4 horsewomen. Now, Tim, obviously, other big thing that happened on SmackDown, the New Day run the gauntlet. Kofi Kingston is officially in the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. I say that there's no way, and I'm not putting a percentage number on it, but there's no way that he's not walking out of WrestleMania with the title. Tim, now what?
I don't think so, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
How do you not think so? Like, I feel like you wanted it so bad.
I still want it so bad. There is a difference between me wanting Kofi Kingston to be WWE champion and me looking and saying Seth is beating Brock, Becky is beating...
Seth is not beating Brock.
Seth is beating Brock.
Seth is not beating Brock.
Yes, he is.
Seth is not beating Brock.
Bruh.
I don't think
Seth
beats
might
Brock.
beat Brock at Saudi Arabia Part 3, but he is not winning the Universal title at
Seth
Mania.
is winning the Universal title at WrestleMania
I don't think
and
so,
going
Tim.
on to challenge
like an home improvement.
to challenge
I hear what you said.
Drew McIntyre as the number
I
one
don't think
contender.
so, Tim.
It's gonna happen. There's too many happy endings. They're not gonna give all of the
Dude,
happy
we should go to
endings.
Friendlies.
We should go to Friendlies?
Yeah.
What's that one place in Florida?
What do you say about happy endings?
Oh, those happy endings.
Yeah, that's the
Now that you do that, I feel like that's a sound effect from, like, American Pie.
What, this?
Nope.
Or this?
Yep.
Could be.
I don't think Kofi is. I think the fun in.
I think you're wrong.
I think the fun
Yeah, I
in
think
this
you're way
was
wrong.
in the chase. He's gotten there.
Christ, that scared the shit out of me, dude.
Wrong.
Oh, it's a long one. Just let it play out.
I know it is.
Okay.
You're wrong.
It's my least favorite sound effect that Jim has over
Nah.
there.
I'm
Especially
sure I could
since
probably
I'm
find it
right.
if you're wrong.
It's really great.
I don't think you're right, though.
I think I am. I think Seth beats Brock.
I think we need to have like
Daniel
a friendly
Bryan.
wager here because you guys are totally on the other side here, and I'm just sitting
We'll
in
have
the
to
middle.
think about that. You think? Do you think that
I would say a hair versus hair match, but that's not fair.
that is not fair?
I chose to shave my beard because I wasn't cutting my hair.
Well, you're not a. Are you donating? Are you
I don't know
growing
yet.
to donate? Or
No,
I'm
just growing.
You're
I'm just growing.
You're a grower, not a shower.
I'm a grow.
Speaking of which, did you you see the Red Scorpion? And I want to tip my hat to him.
He looks good bald.
He looks
by the
great
way.
bald. But for St. Baldrick's raised like a couple $1,000s or something like that for childhood cancer.
Him and the Scorpion King
yes,
Queen.
the Scorpion Queen, Jim. Yeah.
Aku Machente.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, totally different.
He's totally gonna
the
kick my ass on the
Scorpion
13th of April now.
Queen
By the way,
is also shaved her locks. So awesome job by those guys. Thank you so much.
Descorpified.
Oh no, I'm sure they had scorpified clippers.
oh, I'm sure.
I'm fucking sure of it.
Colby asked, "Did Mojo announce his entrance to the Battle Royal yet?"
That's
no.
the big question. Because I'm still here for Mojo Rawley.
Okay, but no, he did not announce his entrance. The only 3 people in the Battle Royal as of now
Are the winner?
Braun Strowman and the Weekend Update host from Saturday Night Live.
We don't even name them. They're that low on this podcast.
Michael Che, Colin Jost.
Why'd they get
Michael
ruined yet?
Michael Che and the guy who's dating Scarlett Johansson.
Good on him, man. How are
Yeah,
all these SNL guys landing like
good
Green
on him, dude.
Vagine?
Because sense of humor is sexy, man.
Exactly.
Like
I gotta-
Pete Davidson looks like a wart.
Yeah, but apparently he also
A
has a
bleached
huge
wart.
donger.
Really? Good,
Yeah,
good on him.
that's the rumor. I mean, Ariana Grande and now Kate Beckinsale.
right.
Yeah, apparently he's extremely well hung.
Good on him.
That's the word.
No, Devin. That's not going to happen,
Hold
player.
on, wait.
Which one?
I think you're way behind.
Nah, Devin.
The Big E screwing Kofi.
Nah. His last... He has a wager for if whichever one of us, whatever the wager is between us, loser gets chopped by a wrestler of the other person's choosing.
Nope.
that's
no.
Nah.
Nope.
Nah.
My heart. No.
Nope.
My heart, nope.
How about you don't?
I ended up like kind of getting chopped by the Red Scorpion once, and he didn't know he was doing it, but he was just overexcited. He was talking, and he's like, "Man, these chops are weak." We were at a show, and he was just a fan, and he's like, "You gotta make sure you turn." And then he just whoop, and I'm like, "No fucking way,
did
dude!"
that?
The Red Scorpion,
Really?
Like he didn't like chop me like a full chop. He didn't rake my back, but he
He didn't Hulk you?
like he hit me much harder. He's like, "Oh shit, brother," and I'm like, you did it. You
Ryan's
can't
like,
untake it back."
Ryan's like,
No shit.
let's
But
see
yeah, that's
here.
an awful
Miguel
idea,
says if
Devin.
Kofi wins the title, are they going to get rid of the Captain Planet belt? Absolutely. They absolutely
That's
would.
why they're not gonna.
I'm still pissed that thing is not on the Shop Zone. I would buy that thing yesterday if it shows up on the Shop Zone site. Scott asks, who is the worst bald guy in WWE right now? Does Mojo count as bald?
Baron
No.
Corbin.
I'll
Worse
then-
as in look or worse as in gimmick, because it's always going to be Baron Corbin if it's gimmick.
No, who are all the bald? There's got to be a worse one.
There's the big LG. There's Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I'll give the edge to Kurt even over Baron. Baron's executing extremely well, like him or not.
The baldness?
Everything he's
Okay,
doing.
I actually like his baldness much better than him with
We're
like
talking about
long
the
hair.
worst
Then-
looking
then
bald
his
guy,
skullet?
or the worst.
I don't know. He said worst.
Like-
Who's the worst bald
Well, yeah,
guy?
he rephrased. What are you looking for?
Who is the worst bald guy in WWE right now?
Bobby Lashley.
Whoa, no, Bob. No, he's not.
Brian says Bob Lashley. I
Bob
say Kurt
Lashley,
Angle.
no.
Kirk Angel, without question. Did you see him almost kill
Bill
Randy
Neville's
Orton
here.
on
Hi, Bill.
SmackDown?
Welcome in, Bill. How you doing, man? You hear Bill's voice in our intro.
We do. Thank you so much for that. And he graciously redid it when we added Tim into the family.
Yes.
Hi, Bill.
Yes, 100%. Bill says Baron Corbin is the worst bald guy in the WWE.
What does he know?
Now you've angered Tim.
New Age what?
Oh, don't do
Oh,
that.
here
We're
we
friendly
go.
with them. Damn it.
Well,
Now we're
he's talking about the Hot Topic manager of my dreams.
Let's see here.
Holy, with a Lars Sullivan. We wouldn't know.
He doesn't even count.
Yeah, he didn't count, dude. He's got mental problems. He can't.
Yeah.
Lee says SNL's
I'm looking it up.
new this week. Does Braun show up during Weekend Update? It's new this week and next week. So I think he shows up on one of them. I really do.
I think that's a great.
I think he
a
shows
great
up on
answer.
one of them.
Saturday.
Yeah. I would imagine. Well, I would imagine this week over next week, considering next week's Hall of Fame.
He will be there. He will be at Saturday Night Live. They do stuff at Access at the same time as the Hall of Fame. They'll send Baron. They don't need Braun Strowman at the
true.
Hall of
I
Fame.
hope they don't
That's
send
true.
Baron, because that would be awkward. Who are you?
Scott says Nicholas helps Braun win the Battle Royal, much to Ryan's
Did you
dismay.
see that the WWE just put
I didn't
out?
have a chance to watch it, but yes, the
Unfucking
where
real.
It's so good.
It's so dumb. I fucking hate it.
How do you? I don't understand how
I
you
hate
that.
it
That is
so much.
It's great, Ryan.
It's ridiculous.
It's so good.
It upsets me so much.
Scotty, I care about the Hall of Fame because my Heart Foundation are getting in the Hall of Fame. So there you go. All right, let's talk a little bit about Raw this past week, and then we're going to talk about the Mania build.
So that makes Brett a two-timer, correct?
He's a two-timer.
Joining the list of who are the other two-timers?
Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels will be a
And
two.
Booker T, man, he's going to be in there. He's going to
Booker
be
T
a
will be twice.
two-timer. He's going to be in there. He's going to be in there 2 times.
God damn it.
That's right. Me and my brother
You
Stevie
asked the
Ray.
fucking
my brother
question,
Stevie
Ryan.
Ray,
You-
we're
the
going
way to
be in
go.
there 2
See, this is what
times.
happens when you
Harlem
ask
Heat,
fucking
the best
stupid
tag
questions.
team out of New York, but also from Texas, 110th Street in Harlem,
just
New
have
York.
like a
Baby,
blanket I
can
can throw
tell you
over
right
him or
now,
something?
Raise the roof. I love it.
I think we
10-time
need to
WCW
get
Tag Team Champions, man.
A weighted blanket, perhaps. Hit him in the face with one of
Michaels will be a two-timer. Flair's a
them.
two-timer.
Oh, dude, Miguel hit a home run with the worst-looking bald guy.
Shawn Michaels looks terrible bald. He absolutely
There might be
He's
the
grew his
answer.
hair back.
looks terrible
Oh,
bald.
is it
He is
growing
starting
back?
to grow back a little
Thank
bit.
God.
Now he's just got dad hair. Triple H's Triple H's promo. What's
God.
You better be real careful if he's talking junk about me.
Yeah,
No, he's talking about Bret Hart.
yeah, 100%. Triple H's promo once again shows just how fucking good he is. So good on the stick. Self-deluded douchebag were my 3 favorite words from Monday Night Raw this week.
Cheers.
But yeah, I mean, dude, that guy could sell me on anything. He really could.
What could he sell you?
What was the point? Oh, so to go back to the Triple H promo. Stipulation that if he loses to Batista, he has to retire.
Yes.
Do we think there's still any chance that he's? I mean, Batista's already said this is his last match.
Right.
Thank God, right?
Absolutely.
Ryan's happy about it. He wishes he wouldn't have one. Period. We
Yeah.
know, but like, does this stipulation change the thought that I had that there's no way Triple H loses? Like, I don't see him retiring after.
Jim, I feel like Triple H is on the wrong side of 30.
Well,
so
he is. He
could
is.
potentially retire.
He is, but
I
both
don't
of
know
these
how-
guys are
how
on the wrong side of
close
30.
He is with
Batista's
Dave.
older than Triple H.
Yes, he is.
Like, how close are they, like, friendship-wise, outside of the, like,
I think they are friends.
like very close friends? Like,
I believe
Triple
it.
H would want to go out by Batista?
No, I don't think Triple H is ready to retire.
Who else would retire Triple H? That makes sense. The only other one would be Randy Orton, correct?
Unless Triple H wants to put over a guy coming up from NXT, the brand that he's worked fucking night and day to build
That makes sense.
into not just developmental anymore.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep, I agree
I
with
could
that.
I could see something like that. But yeah, I don't think that changes. Did we ever know, like, what was the
Scott's
point?
got a good point. Triple H, Batista, the entrances should be phenomenal.
They should.
They should be fun.
What was the point of the Beat the Clock challenge?
To show which of the 3 women were the most dominant in that moment. I feel like that's something like you and your brother would do over just something stupid and petty. There's no reason for it. Like, I'm better than you, and I can do this faster than you. I think that's all it was.
Okay, yeah, it just seems so
And like, hey, the Riot Squad still.
like it was a nice change of pace, way to open up Raw.
Yeah.
But it just I was just the whole time I'm going, what's the point?
I love how Scotty said that the reason was to kill time when they literally only killed less than 4 minutes of time.
Right. Right. It was a beat the clock. Like, it's not like it was an Iron Woman match.
It was a
challenge.
minute 18, a minute 19, and a minute 9.
Yeah, and then they went to commercial.
That's really, really sad for the Riot Squad, is it not?
Oh, the Riot Squad's fine.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're fine.
Oh, they okay. They
You
got
do-
that. They got that Ronda Rousey rub.
You could do a lot worse than losing to Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte leading up to the main
Okay,
event
that's
of
fair.
WrestleMania.
Right. It's. I mean,
That's a good
because there's winners and losers in every well, unless it's a draw, but just about every single wrestling match.
Right.
Hey, and Ruby Riott didn't lose.
She did not lose. That's
That's a
right.
good point. That's a fair point. So they protected the one that actually matters.
The Riot of the Riot Squad?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and again, this goes back to something I've said numerous times over the past couple of years. I think people take too much stock in, in a win or a loss. If you're seeing somebody,
I'm not taking stock in a win or a loss. I'm taking stock in a win or a loss within like 2 minutes.
yeah, but it's not like there hasn't been beat the clock challenges before, and other people have lost and beat the clock challenges. Like, yeah, I think they're fine.
Okay.
And again, this also helps show.
I mean, they're as fine as like Fandango is right now. That's all I'm saying.
Fandango is hurt-o.
Okay.
well, the
same thing.
I mean, he's healthy-o, but he's off. He's off
recovering,
TV.
I believe.
right.
All right, we'll say Tyler Breeze and Zack Ryder. Fine. That's where they're at.
I understand that. I understand
So,
that
yeah,
they
they're
lost, and they all lost. Well, 2 of them lost in less than 5 minutes. One of them beat the minute 19 or whatever it was. But if you're having a beat the clock challenge featuring the 3 women in the first ever all women's main event at WrestleMania, it's going to make them look worse if random women on the roster are going to hang with them for 10 minutes at a pop.
Okay.
Like, them winning shows that they are the best in the division, why they are in the main event, at WrestleMania for that title. That is about putting them over, not hurting the Riot Squad.
You're singing a different tune if it was Natty. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm not.
Absolutely would. Your girl Natty. You absolutely would.
No, because it's about the 3 women who were in the main event.
Okay.
That's what it's about.
Okay. All right.
So are you singing a different tune if it's Natty and not the Riot Squad?
Absolutely not.
So
Why
you're
would
saying
I?
Natty's getting bit. You would be like, Natty's on the shit list or
If it's
something.
not, I'm saying the shit list, I'm saying it doesn't do him any good.
Nah, I think it does fine. And in terms of why the women's six women tag match next week, I think just because that's
WWE loves partners that don't get along.
exactly,
Yeah.
especially the week.
I'm not surprised that Becky Lynch and Charlotte aren't the WWE Tag Team Women's Champions going into WrestleMania.
Especially.
They're such best friends, they go celebrate together.
Oh, look at him! He's so fucking mad.
So mad. I thought it was me that was angry tonight.
All right,
Got a
let's.
6-woman tag, player.
Finn Balor is taking on Bob Lashley for the Intercontinental title.
I feel like that's like the 13th time we've seen this match.
Yeah, and we're going to see it for the probably 14th time this Monday, and then the
once
15th
again-
time
okay.
when the Demon comes out at WrestleMania. Which I'm here for that entrance, by the way.
Yep.
The Elias on the Street stuff I thought was really good on Monday. Of
I
course,
just wish that they would have done the Naked Cowboy.
I was
That would've
waiting
been good.
for it.
I was waiting for Naked Cowboy.
I
That
instead.
would've been
totally
great.
was. Is he still a thing? Maybe he's not a thing anymore.
I think it's still a thing.
Like he was a thing back when we were in high school.
Yeah, what else is that guy going to do?
You got a point.
Be 100% honest. If you're following along on the live video, make sure you give it a like, give it a share. Oh, shit.
I popped him. I wasn't ready for that one, Tim.
Man,
He's done, folks.
I feel very uncomfortable right now.
Am I in my underwear? Am I in pants? Who knows?
Right,
Jim?
there's no confirm that we have pants on.
Tim can't stop. He wasn't ready, folks.
Tim's
He wasn't ready. Oh no, Tim, you did this yourself. The blood is on your hands. I've never seen Tim laugh like that. Why is he spitting?
I don't. He's trying to clean the blood off.
Oh, it's on his hands.
Oh
folks.
my God. Scott says he's out. Lee's laughing.
I'll put it back on for Scott.
Yeah, Scott, stay with it. We've got more people in the video now that Ryan took a
Look at that. We've ballooned. That's all it needs is some gratuitous nudity.
Miguel says yeehaw, Naked Cowboy.
Fuck yes, sir.
Oh my God. That wow.
It was bound to happen sooner or later. 5 years of podcasting, my shirt finally came off.
Finally came off.
I feel like we threatened it.
You've threatened it a lot.
We have threatened it a lot.
Jason said don't stand up.
Jason, trust me, brother.
Button on a fur coat.
Good
So
times, folks. Good times. Welcome back. Welcome
there's
back.
been plenty of talk.
Oh, Lee thinks I'm a draw. Finally. See what they do?
Yeah, maybe if Stevie Wonder was drawn.
That's a very pretty lady you have here.
Oh Jesus! There's been a lot of talk with people that this Mania build has not been very good.
Can you point me in the direction of people that are saying that? Because I'd like to beat them about the head and shoulders.
Here's the thing: I think
Let's go over the matches real quick before we bitch about what the
Okay.
draw is or not bitch about it, because I feel like they've done a good job, and I'm going to side with Tim on this, which I feel like I don't always do.
No, you don't.
And I think you agree with Tim. Like, I think we've all been that it's an okay draw.
Here's the thing: this is the 13 matches that have been announced so far. These are official matches as of today. Again, if you're listening to this on an archive, this is March 28th, and it's 10:40 p.m. You have Brock Lesnar defending his Universal title versus Seth Rollins. Of course, the triple threat for the Raw Women's title: Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Buddy Murphy defending the Cruiserweight Championship versus Tony Nese. Triple H versus Batista in a no-holds-barred match. If Triple H loses, he must retire. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Kurt Angle's farewell match. Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which currently is just Braun Strowman and the Weekend Update guys. Samoa Joe defending the U.S. Championship versus Rey Mysterio. Bobby Lashley defending the Intercontinental Championship against Finn Balor. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. The Boston Hug Connection defending the Women's Tag Team Championship versus the Divas of Doom, the Iconics, and Nia Jackson, Tamina. And then, of course, you have the WWE.
Wait, Nia Jackson, Tamina aren't the Divas of Doom?
No, they're the Samoan Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Ooh, still hate that name. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan defending the WWE Championship versus Kofi Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the 13 matches. This is what I said, and I think I responded to somebody on Facebook talking about how this build has not been very good. The Raw Women's Title Triple Threat, the build has been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Kofi Kingston, the build has been fantastic.
Even better.
Reigns and Drew McIntyre, although it's been a shorter build, freaking fantastic.
Love it.
Absolutely love it. Lashley versus Balor, I mean, it's kind of been this back and forth. It hasn't been the best build, but it also hasn't been terrible.
Time invested.
It's absolutely time invested into a secondary title. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship, they've been building extremely well.
I love it.
And the way they brought Beth Phoenix back in. Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio. I missed a couple episodes of SmackDown, so I can't necessarily speak on that, but I'm here for that match, man.
It's going to involve his kid.
I think
It's
so.
going to be great.
That's right.
And very
Yeah,
emotional.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. Obviously, Braun and the SNL guys, whether you like the SNL guys or what they're doing with Braun, whatever, they've invested a lot of time, and it has been somewhat clever to a degree. AJ versus Orton. I've loved the build. That promo the other week when they're shooting on the indies and all of that, that was solid, dude. Absolutely loved it. Shane McMahon and The Miz. That story's been being told for a while, and they're doing it fucking brilliantly.
Great.
Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Again, this isn't whether or not you like the match if you're going to talk about the build for WrestleMania. The way they've been building this has been really good. Whether you like the match or not, whether you think there's going to be more than just this match or not, that's not what we're talking about. Triple H Batista. Again, you had a little hiccups in a couple of the promos because they were unscripted, but I think between the via satellite and all of that, I think, but the build has been good.
Give me what I want.
Tell me what you want. And I think the only thing that hasn't been the best build out of all of this is the Universal title match. Now, when you've got
Although Heyman's told a great story without Brock being there.
when you've gotten Heyman there interrupting Rollins, the last couple weeks have been better, but I think there was like a whole month of February, coming past the Royal Rumble that there was a little bit missing. But in the last couple weeks, it has been much better.
But February is the shortest month.
It is the shortest
So that's
month.
okay.
So all during that month of February, when Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman were in hibernation or wherever they were doing, that's when we started getting the Slay the Beast chants. And that's when we got Dean coining the phrase Slay the Beast. And it's when we got, it's when that whole, where Seth was doing all the heavy lifting to where Brock eventually had to come and snuff him out. Yeah. So
That's a good point.
So that, I feel that match has been building since the Royal Rumble.
Okay, fair. That's a great point.
And realistically, you win the Rumble, there's not much to build. I mean, you don't have to build
right,
that.
you call
it
your
is what it is. You
shot,
called
and
your
that's
shot.
what it is.
Right. I mean, obviously they're going to.
But again,
But that's you have a great take actually, Tim, on that.
But if people want direct interaction between whether it be the two competitors or the Advocate and Seth Rollins, the past couple weeks has been much better there. So we just ran down the announced card, and pretty much everything has either been extremely well built or, if nothing else, a lot of time invested in it.
Guys, just do me a favor real quick because I want to hear what you think. What is the best build that you've seen so far to WrestleMania? Just one best and what it is, and then what is the worst build that you think of the matches we've just announced? Sound off in the comments section. We're gonna read them on air. So don't be shy. Jim can read fine. He's not gonna mess up your words. It'll be great.
Well, I mean, I might mess them up, but I will fix it.
Hit the share button for me. Bring your friends in. Let's talk about the build to WrestleMania right now.
Jason says the issue for him is there's no can't miss angle. In other years, he says, I can remember being like, no, I can't make any plans. I want to watch WrestleMania, but there isn't a can't miss point.
I mean, 30 the can't miss would have been the Daniel Bryan. I feel like the Kofi Kingston is that can't miss.
Right. If you're not getting can't miss out of women's main event,
right,
and or Kofi Mania,
and that's legit. You may not be like a huge women's wrestling fan. I get that, but that Kofi Kingston build, oh my god! And when they finally crown him,
if a can't miss point,
it's gonna be great.
If a can't miss point is Brock Lesnar losing the Universal title,
now you sound like you're making some sense.
No, but I mean, like
potentially,
you
right.
watch a match. Like and I mean, if you're a Brock Lesnar fan, if you want to see Brock continue to hold the title, then I would say you would want to tune in to see if he makes everybody mad. But to me, that's a can't miss point. Like if and I'm not saying this at Jason individually. I'm saying this just out in general. Like if somebody says like they can't. There's not anything that they think is, a can't miss part of this WrestleMania. If you don't feel that about those three things, then maybe this isn't for you anymore. And I'm not and I don't necessarily mean to be like that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy for a second, because if women's main event of WrestleMania and or Kofi Mania, one of the, like, regardless of whether people are like, well, he only got it because Ali got hurt. Yeah, but that's what makes it freaking exciting as hell, by the way. And,
right,
again, not discrediting the 11 years he spent with the company. I'm talking this story right now. He got in the match. He got in the Elimination Chamber because Ali got hurt. Or the potential of Brock Lesnar losing the title and maybe going away. Those three things are can't miss to me. And if that doesn't get you excited, if those three matches don't grab you into WrestleMania, the biggest WWE event of the year, the biggest wrestling event of the year, this may not be yours.
See that list real quick? And I mean, I think to his point, like, you can see AJ Styles and Randy Orton. Like, that doesn't scream WrestleMania match to me. Like, you could see that on SmackDown. Dude, it's not like you haven't seen these style matches on SmackDown. It's not like AJ Styles is just wrestling some jobber meatball every week. Like, that's not a... You can't...
No, I see what you're saying.
Like, Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio,
like you're saying,
is not a WrestleMania-style match. Like, for the championship, you could put that on any pay-per-view, and it would be fine. It doesn't have the pomp and circumstance.
I'll give you
right,
that one.
of that, and I don't think AJ Orton does either.
It's because you just don't think anything of Randy Orton.
no,
That's not. I don't think that's necessarily true. It's true, but I don't think it's true in
here's
this.
the thing. I could turn on SmackDown on Tuesday
does
night.
Reigns and McIntyre sell you as a WrestleMania match? Why wouldn't we have just seen that on Raw? Like, we saw
We
Dean.
could see it on Raw, but the way they've been building this, especially with Reigns coming back,
the personal tie.
and you bringing your kids into it and all that. That part of it's the WrestleMania.
That
build.
makes it Mania, not just any other
No,
pay-per-view.
Yes.
Like, you need to sell pay-per-views on that emotion.
Well, yes, but okay, I can kind of see what you're saying. That match could be a major point on Money in the Bank. Is kind of your
That's
point.
kind of where I'm at. Right.
And I could
But
very
here's the thing: is that
Lashley and Balor, like, we've seen it. Like, if this doesn't end that feud, then there's nothing special WrestleMania about it, in my opinion. Other than we will see the demon; he'll tap into that darker side.
like, yes, Roman Reigns and Dean or Drew McIntyre facing each other at WrestleMania isn't necessarily screaming what you wouldn't say, quote, screams WrestleMania, but it does when it's going to be like the sixth match on the card, when on any other pay-per-view, that would be main eventing the card.
Okay, that's fair.
You have to look at it that way. I will say this now. WrestleMania 17 better get its affairs in order, get its ducks in a line, because top to bottom, WrestleMania 35 looks to be the stars are aligning to be the best WrestleMania of all time.
It's funny you use the word star because I thought her 32 looked really, really good. And we know how WrestleMania star turned out.
But the build to 32 was almost flawless.
Correct.
Which did set it up to be like, you didn't even have to put in work of any kind to talk about how great the build was. Like, I didn't even have to look at the card, and I could just be like, bam, bam, bam. I could fire off. That build to that Mania was as hot as anyone I can remember. The card left me with stuff to be desired. Now let's go back to a couple of the comments here. Jordan says he's going to flip it if Brock keeps the title. You and probably a lot of people, but I say get ready for it. Jason
He also
said
Daniel Bryan Kofi count is good.
yes. Jason says he's all for women's wrestling. It's that Ronda on the mic has made it hard to get into. To me,
and I think that was if you're not into like the women's main event, right? Okay.
Sure. Which for me, I actually enjoy when promos aren't the cleanest or the because they don't sound scripted then. Lee says best Kofi versus Bryan, worst women's tag build, but not horrible. Jordan says, am I the only one who's looking forward to Reigns versus Drew? No, I think that is a dark horse for one of the best matches on the card.
It's gonna be a great match, and I wasn't trying to put it down when I was saying that.
I understand what you were saying. Jason says Kofi Mania and women's main event have been the best builds. Miguel asks, if Brock does lose the title only for good, who do you think should be the next Paul Heyman guy?
Michael McGillicuddy.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think if Brock goes, I think Paul Heyman goes away for a while. At least on screen, I think he goes away for a while. I think it could potentially be somebody in NXT. I don't even know who.
That would be fun.
But I honestly don't know.
I
who
hope
would be.
they don't feel the need to ram him and put him with somebody.
Yes,
I think like Paul Heyman kind of has this build with about his guys, like guys that look like they could be Paul Heyman guys.
Because who have been the Paul Heyman guys? It was Cesaro and Curtis Axel that didn't work out well.
Not well.
Brock Lesnar,
right,
and CM Punk, right?
Is there anybody else?
Has there been any other Paul Heyman guys?
Cesaro, Ryback, Curtis Axel.
Oh yeah, the Ryback.
Yep.
Yeah.
CM Punk
and Brock.
Which, by the way, I've been watching a lot of old Manias. Like, I've taken my iPad to work many days and just had the iPad there in front of me, and when I can glance at it,
work.
But 27, because I've been trying to especially watch some of the ones that were in my lost years. Now 27 was the year after I started getting back into wrestling. And I don't know if I just didn't see this Mania or I forgot about it, but CM Punk versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 27 was a fucking banger of a match, by the way. If you want a match to watch tonight before you go to bed, CM Punk versus Randy Orton from WrestleMania 27. That thing was real good.
I will check it out, Jim.
Real fucking good.
I will check that one out.
But yeah, and also I forget who I was talking to.
Was that the Miz main event? 27?
WrestleMania 27.
Was that the one with
yes.
With Daniel Bryan right in the beginning? Sheamus?
It was The Rock as the host. And The Rock was Rock was the host of WrestleMania.
Yes.
It was Daniel Bryan or The Miz versus John Cena.
Yes.
Yep. Because 28 was once in a lifetime, 22 was
Jason has an
twice
interesting
in a
one. He says Drew being a Paul Heyman guy could take him to the next level.
Drew doesn't need it.
He doesn't. I don't. I mean, it would be interesting.
That's who I wrote down.
But he doesn't need somebody to talk for him.
Absolutely doesn't.
Like, that's the thing. Like, you have to find somebody who, and I know a lot of people are going to say Ronda Rousey, but you need to find somebody that absolutely has it 110% between the ropes,
I mean, there's something
but
that
doesn't have it when they pick up the mic.
a woman hasn't done yet. There hasn't been a woman Brock Lesnar girl.
Right, and
Because I feel like those shirts would sell great.
I think they would. I mean, I would. Not that I think it would even make sense, but I would rather a Nia Jax over Ronda Rousey. I think if you put Ronda Rousey with Paul Heyman, it's far too predictable,
Yep.
and it just really paints her into the female Brock Lesnar corner. And even though we already kind of think that, I don't think that's good for her career long term. I think that would be bad news. But yeah, the build to this has not been bad. There's been bumps along the road. There almost always is. But if you really look at it, they've been doing a really good job at telling you stories. And they've been telling a lot of stories for a long time that you're probably not even aware of until you really think about it. So I know it's easy. I know it's easy to say worst build ever. People said it last year. People said it the year before. People said it the year before. People said it the year before. It's the cool thing to do. But a lot of times the cool thing to do, and this isn't like be a star campaign or anything, the cool thing to do isn't always like the best or smartest thing to do. That's all I'm saying. Look a little bit past the front page, a little bit past the headline. I think you're going to find that this build has been very good. This card is fucking loaded. WrestleMania is going to be... I'm not necessarily ready to say it's going to be the best ever. It has potential to be one of the best ever looking at the card. It really does. I'm getting more and more excited about this, for this show by the day. Let's see here. Jason Jordan says, what about Strowman being a Heyman guy?
He doesn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of like the charm of Strowman is the accent and the goofy run and the fact that he looks like a guy that just rolled out of like a fishing hole.
Yeah, I think that the days of the need for a Paul Heyman guy are kind of done.
Yikes.
Like once Brock's gone, I don't think we need
I don't
Paul
disagree
around.
with you, but yikes.
I don't think we need Paul around anymore. Like when we
No,
get him,
and if it would happen and make sense organically, then fine. I don't think we need to force
you know
it.
who would be a great Paul Heyman guy? Lars Sullivan.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%, because that guy's an ass kicker.
Yeah.
But he
And he can't talk very well.
and he doesn't need to talk. Yeah, 100%.
But I don't think he needs it. Like
Jason, we did, just in the interest of time, I can't go back and revisit the is Corbin the right guy for the retirement match, whatever. This is what we talked about this in long form last week, but ultimately it's the story that's been told for a very long time. Personally, I think that it's a squash match and either The Undertaker or John Cena, but it's the long told story.
even after this week of TV,
Yeah, the fans still don't want to see it.
I'm not talking about Kurt versus Baron. I'm talking about Kurt working a second match.
Oh, dude, it's literally like
It's not
Okay,
good. Like
it's like miss
I-
clothesline, angle slam, 1,
Right,
2, 3.
I'm talking like a 12-second match as the first match.
to me, like that Samoa Joe match was scary.
It wasn't good,
No, it wasn't.
It was scary.
but that's why I think you would be
Like
That's why like I'm talking, like when I'm talking this Kurt Angle, when I'm talking my idea of how this Kurt Angle segment goes, it's Angle comes down to the ring. It's a very quick, get to an angle slam and he wins, calls out a real opponent. Either Cena or Taker answers the call, and that second match is very much like Undertaker versus Cena last year, where you hit the favorites, get out of the thing, and move on.
Punch.
Kurt goes out on his back, and that's why I think it makes sense to do John Cena, because it closes that long circle.
it does, but I just
Right, I could see that. Angle get a little bit of fury in, miss the thing, boom, 5-knuckle
Yeah.
shuffle, up, attitude adjustment.
That's the way I see it. But again, it could just be Corbin and get out of there.
It could also be Kurt Angle tries to bip on Baron Corbin, Angle goes for the angle slam. Baron spins out, grabs him by the arm, whip, end of days, and that's,
here's the thing.
that's Kurt's loss.
If there's not a second match, I very much see Corbin winning. Because if there's not a second match, then that means that either
So noisy.
either Kurt wanted Corbin as the opponent, or it was a the long told story all along, and you go out on your back, and that's what it is. So if there's not a second match, I'm prepared to see Kurt Angle lose to Baron Corbin, and I'm fine with it. I think Corbin's come a long way from NXT Lone Wolf, goofy ass stringy hair, to everything he's done in the last year or so. I think the guy has come a long way, and people don't give Baron Corbin the credit he deserves. I did not like Lone Wolf Baron Corbin NXT, even when he came up. I was like, first off, this guy's like, a cheap t-shirt version of The Undertaker, and he gets winded after 2 minutes. This guy's done a lot of work to get where he is now.
That's a good point.
Like,
he definitely
he has come a long way.
His entrance theme climbed up on my list too. It's still not number one, but it's definitely climbed significantly.
The Triple H Batista match, because it's no holds barred, will not be a yawn match. If it was just a regular in the ring match, it had potential to be yawn. But there's going to be a lot of things to keep this thing from being yawn. Again, also keep in mind the fact that like you have DX being inducted the night before, so those guys are going to be in the building. Just throwing that out there. No disqualification. All right, let's roll through a few things. Speaking of Cena and The Undertaker, there's been talk that John Cena could be involved interrupting Elias's performance at WrestleMania. I feel like that's a little lather, rinse, repeaty from last year's Mania, which means it could happen, but I would hopefully lean on the side of no.
I think you're not far off. I think you've got the right idea, but you got the wrong guy.
Taker. Oh.
Who do you think interrupts Elias?
The honky tonk man.
Close. The Rock.
Ooh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
It is New York, Jim.
It is New York. It is Mania. Okay. I mean, I'll be fine with that. All right, let's see. Undertaker.
Can you
WWE.
imagine that pop?
Uh-huh.
And they've kept
You got,
that real,
you got goosebumps right now
they
thinking you're
talked-
going to be in that. They have not said a word about The Rock.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Thank God you have your shirt on. Your nipples will get hard. Bing, bing. WWE is apparently now operating as if The Undertaker will not be at WrestleMania. They did expect he would possibly appear, but it doesn't look, at least as of now, that is going to happen. I said it last week. I'll say it again. And until I don't see The Undertaker at WrestleMania, I would be shocked if he doesn't appear. I really, really would. At this stage of his career, like he might not be wrestling. He might not be, I may be building myself up somewhat to that Kurt Angle stuff. But I'd be shocked if he's not there in some fashion. I really would.
Tombstoning Michael Che.
Sign me up for that. All right. WWE announced on Monday that the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Two-time.
So yeah, the two-time for Bret Hart. I know some people, and I was actually a little bit shocked that Jimmy Hart not a part officially of this induction. I know they mentioned him in the video. I'm sure Bret, and I would expect Natty to induct on behalf of her father, would mention Jimmy Hart somewhere in the speeches. But the Hart Foundation had to get in at some point. I mean, one of the better tag teams of all time, two-time WWE Tag Team Champion. I will always recommend the SummerSlam 1990 match versus Demolition, the 2 out of 3 falls, as one of my favorite Hart Foundation matches. Any of the stuff they did with
when LOD comes out.
Yeah.
They were,
because it was the 3 of them, and they didn't know which one, and Axe went under the ring,
Yep.
and the old switcherooski. And any of the stuff they did with the Bulldogs. I mean, you go find it. I mean, even find old Stampede stuff if you can, because those things were on fire. Jason, I agree. I think Demolition needs to be in the Hall of Fame at some point, but they got to get that whole lawsuit thing resolved before they ever do that. As for the final inductee,
Could Jimmy Hart do the induction? Like
He
induct
could.
them,
He could. He absolutely
rather
could.
than Natty.
Um,
And Natty accept
I
on
think
behalf of.
I think you may do the revival.
Oh, that's cool.
The revival do the induction speech for the Hart Foundation.
I'd be on board for that.
That's cool. I like that actually.
Yeah. As for the final inductee to be announced, there's been speculation of whether or not it would be a celebrity inductee. But late last week, New York radio station WHTZ 100.3 was advertising Brutus the Barber Beefcake as the final inductee, and Hulk Hogan has been rumored to be the person inducting him into the Hall of Fame. Of course, very close friends. Those two are. I mean, I think, when you look at, gimmicks and personalities that stand out from the 80s and 90s, Brutus the Barber Beefcake was in a lot of major storylines, major angles. You had the barbershop. I mean, even to things like, the Rockers split happened in the barbershop. Like, I know people will always make jokes about people like Brutus the Barber Beefcake or like Coco Beware and like some others, but it's not necessarily just about how many titles did you win, and all of that stuff. So people are going to crack jokes about it. I even cracked a joke when I first heard about this advertisement that if this is true that he's getting in, that the nod should go to Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson and hashtag BTFBB. But there's, there's absolute validity to him getting in the Hall of Fame. We'll see if it officially gets announced. That'll probably come out on Monday. I mean, theoretically, you could still have a celebrity announced as well. But, I mean, I have no problems at all with Barber getting in.
I mean, it spawned off Barbershop Window, the wrestling T-shirt company. Like, still somewhat relevant.
Sure.
It was a really big angle. And you're right. Like, you think back on it, you don't think, like, the greatest matches or anything like that. Like, I don't think associate with Coco Beware. But I put him in the same exact.
And he had
in
that
same exact
goofy-ass
category.
face mask thing at WrestleMania 9.
Oh, yes. The face mask.
Let's talk about that Brutus Beefcake versus a jet ski.
Yeah. Ooh, Jet Ski won. Jet Ski, future WWE Hall of Famer.
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Because depending on who you ask, that jet ski punched Hulk Hogan in the eye on WrestleMania 9, too.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. Miguel says, I hope to someday see Brian Pillman, Davey Boy Smith, and Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. I mean, the faction Hart Foundation was absolutely huge. Yeah, Jordan as well says Pillman and Owen Hart. Jason adds Adrian Adonis could be one that should be in the Hall of Fame. Devin points out they removed Cena and The Undertaker from WrestleMania Countdown promo. So take that for what it's worth. And obviously we'll go from there. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the Total Bellas season finale.
But you can't touch. You keep dreaming on the stars above.
This started my bad week.
Just so you know, this isn't the theme for a really C-level horror movie. This is...
It is terrifying.
There's a mystery. What's on your mind?
It's creepy as hell.
This is not the alternate theme for American Horror Story Freak Show. This is...
Oh, yeah, my girl's done, man. That started my bad week.
Rip.
It started my bad week, man.
Hey, but they got a podcast now.
They do. I enjoyed the hell out of it. You don't like it? Don't listen to it. It's that
I
simple.
won't.
Perfect.
I didn't even know they had one.
Yeah.
I
think we retweeted it.
timer.
Oh, we did?
A timer 10.
Like Jim just quote tweeted it and put up the
just keep ringing that bell.
Hey, Nikki Bella said the word "the."
There it was.
I mean, whether again, whether you like it or not, they are WWE Hall of Famers, right?
Quote tweet eggplant.
Yeah.
Quote
Yes.
tweet eggplant.
Eggplant splash.
That was
Eggplant
Jim.
splash.
You're so thirsty.
Yeah, 100%. Roll Tide.
Rocket ship.
But
Surfboard.
Yeah, Nikki's done. Bree's done. And really, I think Ryan, you and I were
You
talking.
got Ryan wiping his eyes. He's so
emotional.
emotional
Still
about it.
getting emotional.
I think we talked the other day that, again, going back to kind of the end of at least the term and terminology, women's revolution. These two retiring really kind of ends the Divas era really completely in the WWE.
Yep.
They were kind of they've been in the WWE for 12 years. So, and I guess Alicia Fox.
And Natty.
Yeah, Natty was there.
And Mickey James.
I
Yeah,
forgot about her. We
she's
haven't seen her in
kind
a
of still
while.
there.
Yeah.
JoJo announced yesterday that her and Bray Wyatt,
Hey, now we kind of know why she's off TV.
having a baby.
Nobody wants to see that belly on TV. Oh, get her out of here.
Yeah, she's too fat. Damn it, get her off of TV.
Ugh. Get rid of it.
Congratulations to them.
And Bray's wife too.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
Baby Nash.
Congratulations to Bray Wyatt. Thank you, big man from some big men, proving that it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the hunt and the dog. Big men can get whoever they want. You just got to believe. Shoot. Yeah, you got that.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
You just got to believe, man.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't
Shut up,
take.
Gretzky.
Wayne
That's
Gretzky,
not even worth taking
Michael
a shot.
Scott.
Oh, that's fair. That's
If you
fair.
want
I'll take
money, go to the bank. If you want bread, go to the bakery. If you want goals, go to the net.
that. There it is.
There it is.
Just take it to the rack. What is the absolute worst that Taryn Terrell could say to you if you go up to her and go,
Mace. Psst. That's what I'm worried
That's
about,
the worst-
brother.
That is the worst that could happen.
and
You're
guess
right.
what? That shit washes out of your eyes, and guess what?
Nope.
You
fuck
got
that
Mickey
for-
James over there. Wait till Nick Aldis is sick of her, and you go get her.
I'm a pass.
What?
What? Does your winky no work?
No, it works
Well,
fine.
Winky no worky?
It's possible.
It's possible.
Get him some Blue Chew.
Oh no! Don't even get corny upset
Oh
with
my
me
God,
now.
that Twitter feud between Cornette and Bischoff.
Jesus.
Go back.
I don't need dick pills. Baby, baby,
Oh my
baby,
God,
baby.
fucking hilarious! Absolutely fucking hilarious. Those two going back and forth. Bray Wyatt also unveiled a new look.
Lit.
Just got the mohawk dreads.
Looking so good.
And he looks thinner too.
He's got a great side of the head.
That's a great head side.
So
is
I mean,
great.
I would maybe expect Raw after Mania, SmackDown
Ish.
after Mania would be a great time for
NXT UK after Mania? No.
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 But I think Bray is on his way back, and is. I mean,
He comes back with a British gimmick just to go to the UK. He's like, righto! Just fucking with the things. And
Follow the buzzards, eh?
that's
Caw.
that's a hard pass.
Caw.
Oh, we have a Bray Wyatt theme.
I mean, it's kind of a new look reinvention a bit. Is it too little, too late, or?
No.
I think
I
he's
don't
been
think it
away
has to
long.
be a
I think it's
reinvention.
been
It's
away
just a
long enough that people have almost kind of forgot a little
Different
bit. which is-
hairstyle.
We can't do demon possession. We can't do wokenness. He's got to be something else.
Got
And
the
he's
whole world.
it's like Sister Abigail's gone.
She gone,
She go.
She gone. Ring her up.
but
Play her music too.
yeah.
Slow that Nikki music down again. That's Sister
If
Abigail.
if they do it correctly, he is fine. That's what I'll say.
Bray Wyatt is too talented to stay down.
Yeah, 100%. A few non-wrestling rumors from the week. Of course, Rob Gronkowski retiring. I think Mojo mentioned him somewhere on Twitter and somewhere.
'Cause they boys.
He was also mentioned by somebody on Raw.
I think
as,
Michael
as
Cole.
a dig was it was like
No,
somebody
yeah,
to the
somebody in
crowd
a
about
promo
like,
made fun of
about not leaving or I get understand how Gronk would leave this shitty town or
Was it
something along
Elias?
those maybe
Elias.
Yeah, it
Was
had to
it
have been
Elias?
Elias. Like, yes or no? Do you think we see Gronk in the WWE at some point?
Yep.
I absolutely do.
Eh.
Even if it's just a one-off, I think we see Gronk in the WWE at some point. Conor McGregor retired suddenly this week
From mixed martial
from
art.
MMA,
From mixed martial art.
just mixed martial art.
That's the tweet.
That's what he's.
The tweet was, quote, "I am retiring from the sport known as mixed martial art."
I mean, he's been hitting the head a lot. I don't know how
Look,
smart
man,
the words are coming
an
out of there.
MMA retirement is just as bad as a Terry Funk retirement. He coming back. He's just going to
yeah.
get more money from Uncle Dana, and he's going to go and he's going to get punched in the head some more.
Do we think? I mean, obviously, it spurred a lot of rumors, especially when Finn Balor said, "See you at Mania, brother." And because we obviously saw Ronda's husband get involved the other week. Do we think we see a Conor McGregor escorting
Is he a fighter?
Becky Lynch? Who?
Connor?
No, Ronda's.
Yeah, Travis Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, do you think there's any ties there potentially?
It would be pretty cool if Connor showed up unexpectedly. Am I expecting it? No.
Right.
But would I mark a little if he endorses the champ?
Could you
Then-
see it though? I mean, you could see it
Without
happening,
question.
right? Like
Yeah.
we're seeing Ronda and her husband
And
or
then you're
boyfriend,
gonna- and then
like
you're gonna
holding
feel-
hands.
And then you're going to feel real weird when Connor and Becky are the same height.
I wouldn't feel weird at all.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
I think he's actually pretty tall.
He's just a wee leprechaun.
Tap him on the head. I bet he really likes that.
Yeah, I bet this will go over good, Jim.
Ding, ding, ding. Jason thinks he will end up in WWE. Jordan says that Nikki Cross as a Sister Abigail will be great.
It could have been.
It could have
Sure,
been,
I'd
but I
have
think
believed it.
I think they put that to bed a while ago.
It's unfortunate because I loved the whole. I really did. I loved the whole Bray Wyatt gimmick. I really did.
I did, and
The
I
family
think you
and
can
like
still do
the fucking
something.
promos.
Yeah,
the
I think you
rocking
can do.
chairs.
I think you can do some of that stuff still.
Oh, they're actually close in
Was he
height.
5'8"?
He's 5'9" and Becky's 5'6".
Okay.
Wow.
But if he's wearing flats and she's wearing lifts, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Motherfucker come out on stilts.
In the SEC filing, it was noted that Vince McMahon sold over 3 million shares of WWE's Class A common stock. It was executed primarily to fund a separate entity from the company, Alpha Entertainment LLC,
Yeah,
which is the
the
parent company of the
XFL.
XFL. And if any of this buzz about the AAF maybe not making out of this weekend is true,
Is that actually?
yeah, it's not necessarily a money situation. It's a NFL Players Association grievance.
Okay, Bill Brown.
But it potentially may not make it past this weekend or to season number 2. I just imagine Vince just sitting at home going, "Yes, it's all mine.
Excellent.
It's all mine."
Excellent.
Um,
You guys didn't learn the last time.
yeah.
I tried to come out really
right, exactly.
too fast.
See what happens when you start a
you ain't
football
kidding.
league way too quick, and people laughed when Vince was taking 2+ years to put the new
2020,
XFL up.
baby.
And Vince gets to see how many weeks have we seen? 4 weeks of talent for free?
Right?
It's been more than 4 weeks. Right?
Has it been? I don't know.
Yeah, this
5
is week
weeks?
8, I think.
They started the week after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, this is week 8, brother.
Yikes.
Lee brings up a great point with Conor McGregor. He says no one's going to sign or touch him till the accusation of sexual assault
Oh,
in
that's
Ireland.
so true. He's not going to be at WrestleMania
I'm
at
straightened
all.
out. Yeah, he is
Nah,
not going to
nah.
be at
Good-
WrestleMania.
good
Lee hits a
call.
home run
Great.
there.
Great.
That's a home run.
Let's give an old
You know
ding
what,
there.
Lee? You can take my seat.
Yeah, great call on that one, Lee. Totally forgot about that one. Goldust. His contract recently expired, or it came to WWE and he came to terms with his release. There were conflicting reports on that. He's currently in the 90-day no compete portion, but that would expire in like mid-May, and I think wasn't it in being the Elite this week? There was something. Cody said something is getting his gear made for.
So that was in the Road to Double or Nothing.
Road to Double or Nothing.
Yep.
And there was something about not having gold in his gear or something like that. There was some sort of nod to the color gold.
I think that might have to not do with Gold Dust. That might have to do with his potential opponent at Double or Nothing.
Because there's people speculating that he and Dustin would wrestle at Double or Nothing. Which could be fantastic.
Well, tickle me pink.
I mean that would be cool. That would be cool.
Heck yeah.
Because I don't know Dustin / Goldust's age off the top of my head.
I would say he's
side.
47.
I'm gonna go 40. You give yours officially.
47.
Oh, dude, he's 51.
I was gonna say
Is
48.
he 51?
No, I don't know. He's
I was
got to
gonna
be
say
over
I'm gonna
50.
say 48. But there's been
Here
a
it
lot of hard
comes.
years on that body and on that career.
49.
Okay,
Hey,
so
okay.
Yeah,
I was the
everybody-
closest without going over.
What did you say?
I said 48.
Okay.
April 11th. So he's turning 50 in a week or two.
Okay. I think the career is obviously closer to the end than it is to the beginning. So I think it'd be awesome for them, in the new venture to
This is going to sound really dumb. Him and Cody are half brothers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they were like.
Oh yeah, I
third
didn't.
blood
I
brothers.
actually didn't know that either.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Learned something today.
Dustin is not Dustin is not Dustin. It's the mom's different, obviously.
Okay.
Miguel, and I'm just about to talk about WrestleMania 36 a little bit. Obviously, in Tampa next year, he says he really hopes Kairi Sane has an amazing entrance with the pirate shit. I would thoroughly expect that. But there was some stuff earlier this week in relation to the WWE and Tampa in WrestleMania 36. Mike Johnson reported during the PW Insider Elite Audio that WWE has been contacting buildings around the Tampa area in an attempt to keep other companies out of the immediate area. This might work if they have the right political pull. He said, and I quote, "I can tell you from someone I know very well in the Tampa area who's already well immersed on some of the things that are going down there for WrestleMania 36 in 2020. The WWE is already on the move to block WrestleCon and independent wrestling events from running major buildings that are state-owned and that are major chains that they've got agreements to keep WWE exclusive that weekend." If WWE want, and the article went on to say, if WWE wants to elbow out the competition for WrestleMania 36, it seems that the G1 Supercard show at Madison Square Garden may have been the last straw. If anything, WWE wants to be the only game in town now more than ever. Here's the thing. There's from Tampa to some of the other like cities and areas down there that
It's a 30-minute drive to Clearwater.
well, yeah, you're not going to do anything in Clearwater proper.
I'm just saying, there are towns, and then that diameter around,
Well,
a
what I'm
30-minute
saying,
diameter.
look Tampa to Orlando, not Clearwater. Clearwater is Scientologyville. Like you're not getting a lot of wrestling shows in Scientologyville. But I think you could do stuff in Orlando.
That's a hike.
That's a bit of a hike, I think. It's thinking of loading for me. Here's the deal. It hasn't worked in New York. It didn't work in Orlando.
I don't think WWE was trying to block from other indies.
You have to read what was said again.
It's an hour 17 to
Publicly owned buildings.
Right.
Okay. That's not a blockade.
No.
That's just limiting the places they can work.
Right. And also
Right, there's plenty of private buildings and then other places
Yeah.
to shack up.
Right. And again, an hour's difference. I mean,
Right.
an hour is not that long. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, like most places you're going to be staying at most WrestleMania locations, if you're staying in a hotel, you're probably going to be even an hour out, just because the number of people that are coming to wherever the hell WrestleMania is. So an hour from Tampa to wherever is not that big of a deal. I mean, it really, I mean...
And really, you're right. I mean, it's probably pretty much blocking Ring of Honor, New Japan doing this. We're not looking at the indies.
It's almost an hour from here to Harrisburg.
That's a good point.
What if it just changes the rate in which you do wrestling? And instead of it all being on the same WrestleMania weekend, you do the week before WrestleMania. And the weekend before...
I mean, the pisser with
in
that
the
is
same city.
You have people driving and like flying in for Mania. You
they're
significantly cut the crowd down, I feel.
Or you make them take longer vacations.
Well, that's an option. I mean, hotels, I don't know how cheap hotels are in Tampa.
But a lot of people there are getting, people who are flying in are probably getting the WrestleMania package.
Okay, that's a good
And then
point.
they're just adding on 3 days to the package.
I mean, here's the
I feel
thing.
like I'm just too poor for that.
No, and I don't think you're going to see people running Tampa the week before. I think you're going to see people running in privately owned buildings in Tampa, in places like, go to places like St. Pete or places like in Orlando or like they're going to find places to do shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and for everybody that wants to say WWE, wants all the attention on them, duh. Like,
Sure.
Like if there was other, football leagues that were, in play, do you not think the NFL wouldn't want them playing during Super Bowl week in whatever city the Super Bowl's in?
Right.
Like, yeah, the NFL would want to be the biggest show, in the area. They want all eyes on them.
I don't think the WWE needs to play by the rising tide rule. Like, they are the cream of the crop for this weekend. Like, they don't give a shit. There can be no indie shows, or they can be no. It's not going to affect the WWE's attendance, but they still want to be the main attraction,
Right,
for sure.
and that's just in Tampa proper.
If anything, it's going to impact access attendance.
If anything, I mean, and then, like,
and I also wonder too, like, what, I don't know what exactly, publicly owned buildings are. So, like, are they trying to block them out so that
Like
they have a place
convention centers?
for access? Exactly. Like,
oh, that's a good point too.
access
Right?
has to be in a big spot because of everything that goes into
That's
it.
a good point, Jim.
Because I mean, a convention center would be a great place to run independent shows.
They could be blocking it until they book access, and then once they do,
Right.
they lift the block.
And I'm not faulting Mike
That's a really great
Johnson
point.
or anybody for an article or discussing stuff like this, but it's very easy to play the WWE is the big mean corporation guy who just wants to kill the indies. It's very easy to play that card, but it's not always that cut and dry, especially a year out.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean?
agree.
Like, let's see how this plays out. Let's see how, where exactly things go. I mean, I don't think the WWE is that threatened by anybody or anything. I think that they are, again, trying to just make sure that they have all of their things in the city of Tampa that they want. They want people to come to Tampa, and it's WrestleManiaville for 5 days.
Right.
Yep.
I agree.
Agreed.
That is all I have.
Gonna do it.
I don't know if you guys have anything else.
Not wrestling related, no.
No,
Okay.
I can catch up in the closing.
Tim, where can the people follow you?
Everywhere. At Not the Tool Man across social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat if you care. I stream on twitch.tv/Not the Tool Man 3 days a week. We're finishing up Spider-Man between Friday and Sunday, at least the story mode, and then we are picking up with the re-release of Borderlands.
Hey, thanks, Bill. Thanks for checking in, man.
Thank you, Bill. Bill, you the best.
You guys rock. Great show last night. I listened to the podcast this morning.
And if we're going to be WrestleMania weekend, we're going to be split. Half's going to be on site and half's going to be home.
Yeah, 100%.
So we're fighting a two-front war.
Exactly.
Multiple fronts, folks.
Yep. So twitch.tv/Not the Tool Man for supporting me during my stream. If you have Amazon Prime, you can come to my channel and you can support me for free by subscribing to the channel. It's no money off your back other than your Amazon Prime subscription. I can tell you all about that on the channel. And also, I have a small pet project off the side as well. It doesn't interrupt with 3 Count Thursday. If you want to know more, just follow Final Place Pod on Twitter, and you can get all that you need to know about your final wrestling place.
Good episode, by the way.
Thank you.
Good episode. I enjoyed it.
They're an hour long. They're less than an hour long.
It was a fun little listen. Absolutely. And yeah, Bill, I'm gonna try to make it up to Access at some point. I think I have Wednesday through Monday off.
I'm looking into at least getting rooms Saturday night and Sunday night for After Mania because my ass will not want to drive home.
You don't want to drive home from New York City.
I did not make the drive, but I did make the ride home.
It just seems like awful.
We didn't get home until 5:30.
Yeah, that's
6
gonna
o'clock.
be that's definitely gonna be a night.
Because getting out of the city, we stayed in Queens,
right,
and took the train in to MetLife, and just the public trans getting out was like an hour.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't mind driving to the Meadowlands. It's just driving home from the Meadowlands.
We'll be in touch, Bill.
Yeah.
At least 2 of us are going to be there. 2 of us will be there on WrestleMania Day. Some of us may be in the area during the week prior. Ryan, what can the people follow?
Hey guys, give me a follow. It's at RYN Eagle. I will be one of the ones representing the 3 Count Thursday at WrestleMania. I do. I want to give a little shout out. If you're in the area this weekend, this Saturday, March the 30th. Starting at 8:30 a.m. Go check out the card show and auction, the sports card show and auction put on by the Ephrata Rec Center and the Ephrata Lions Club. It is their 40th annual show, Jim.
Big 40.
You have buy meet and greet tickets. You can meet and greet Charlie Manuel, and another show guest is also Brent Selleck from the Super Bowl winning championship Philadelphia Eagles. He will have his ring there as well. You'll get some pictures and autographs from them. There's a website here, EphrataLionsClub.org/card show is where you want to go check out all of the information. Again, this Saturday, March the 30th, 2019. I think tickets to get in are like $5. Great auction. A lot of great stuff. Check it out, Ephrata Lions Club or EphrataLions.org/card show.
Check us out. 3CountThursday.com is our homepage. That's where you can find all of our social media. That is where you can find our Patreon page, patreon.com/3CountThursday. If you want to find out why Ryan was a bad guy, there's going to be a picture up there. Our pre-show, post-show is going to drop in just a little bit. You'll be able to listen to that at any time for only $2 a month. Also, we have our Collar and Elbow brand deal, a Collar and Elbow brand store. Use promo code 3COUNT, get 10% off each and every order. And much, much more. Again, 3CountThursday.com is where you find it all. Make sure you check out our home network, ngscsports.com, as well as the sponsor of this show, Alicia's Pillows and Things. It's a place where you'll find great home decor at prices that nobody can beat. There will be you'll find pillows, stools, full body and neck pillows featuring favorite sports teams, kids' favorite cartoon or movie characters, and much more. Go to ngscsports.com. Find the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the home page and place your order. Again, guys, we'll be back live next Thursday night where we're going to talk about the G1 Supercard. We're going to talk NXT TakeOver and predict those shows. And then stay tuned to our social media. There will be a live show of some sort on WrestleMania Sunday to preview the big show. Ryan won't be on it. Mark won't be on it. But the rest of us will be. And we're going to talk WrestleMania and predict that card as well. Get ready. Strap in. It's going to be a long couple of weeks, but it's going to be full of wrestling. And until next Thursday night when we talk to you, stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay smart. And go for the pin.